So for the overseas viewers in Australia, we've been gripped by bushfires. We're in the
but
middle of it.
But any worse than what we've had before. But those ones we had when it was Black Ash Wednesday or something.
No, well, there's so many different Ash Wednesday, Black Friday,
and what was that one we had before?
Charcoal
the
Thursday.
one we had in we had one in a couple of years ago down in Victoria where quite a few people were killed and shit. Remember?
Oh, those ones, yeah, that ripped through like you know, what's the King's Lake or something like that.
Quite a few people were killed and stuff. But you notice back then no one mentioned climate change. It's like now, is it just last month they had all that fucking unprecedented snowfall in Perisher Valley and Tasmania.
It was December.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago, was it? Or the snow fell, and it's like people just go, snowfall, skiing, people are out skiing, and that's it. But as soon as it gets a little bit hot, fucking climate change. They be like, some countries just had record coldest temperatures. They just recorded some of the biggest ice caps and shit like that. But if it goes against what they were trying to push, they don't mention that, do they? Because that's climate change, isn't it? Getting snow when we don't normally get snow, but because it's not hot.
Yeah.
It's like, we've got to scare them by saying that we're heating up. It's like,
yeah.
Well, how do we know we didn't heat up like this 300 years ago?
And also,
it's just a cycle we're going in, and also too, it's like, we're not the sun here, and the Earth just goes like this. Sometimes the Earth gets a bit closer to the sun, and this and that, so we do get fucking hotter, and then it gets cooler, and sometimes the sun puts off more fucking flares and that, so you get these fucking bursts of where you get heat and stuff and radiation. And what's the big sunburst we had? Was it a year or two ago? And it knocked out a lot of fucking communications and shit from the solar flares and stuff.
That's a complete another
topic
altogether that I can discuss. But yes, we've had droughts in Australia. That's one of them. It's very dry. But that's been the IPCC, whatever it's called. They actually said, the guy that studied it said that they still do not know what causes droughts. So it's not
rain.
and we've always had droughts, and the droughts.
This is one of the driest continents on Earth. So we've had droughts before. Yeah. I remember years when I was little, seeing photos in the paper of dead cattle just fucking laying everywhere and shit. But then a year or two later, fucking Paul's down there complaining. Was it 3 years ago, those big floods and all the cows and horses drowned and shit?
Well, so the dam, when they released the dam up in Brisbane.
Yeah, it's like, and all this water wasted. We haven't built any more dams, so there's no water catching. All that water just goes out to the ocean. It's wasted. They could easily be keeping water. And then you see them, what was it, a month or two ago, people complaining that the farmers couldn't get water, but they released so many million litres of water to save these fucking fish.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, that's like you're putting fucking fish over people.
Well, the other factor is that...
it's all a conspiracy because they want the farmers to go broke. They want the fucking fruit and vegetables to die out, so we've got to buy it from fucking overseas and all this sort of shit, or people come in and buy it up because, well, wait a minute, the farmers are moving off the land, in comes China or someone, buys it all cheap, and the next thing you know, oh fuck, we've got water, it's growing again. It's all a conspiracy.
Yeah, well, look, the another massive factor is they haven't been doing burn-offs.
No, you're not allowed to do back burning. And then there was one guy on the radio the other day, he said he used to do that back in the early days, and he used to work in the forestry, and that's all they did was back burn or go through and have all the fire trails. He goes, now the fire trails are all grown over, you can't get through because they stopped people going into the forest for four-wheel driving and shit like that. He goes, back then you could get through those fire breaks, it didn't spread like it used to and stuff. And then they wanted to stop cattle and all that going through the forest because they were eating the shit on it's like there's just so much tinder there now that's so dry. Once a spark gets on it, it goes up. That one guy in Victoria, he got fined 100,000 from the council because he cut his trees down around his house. But when the fire came, his was the only house that fucking survived.
And no one had to risk their lives trying to save it, or
exactly.
No. Look, and for the overseas viewers, the Aborigines used to burn off.
How many times do you see too when a fire does come through? Okay, it'll destroy the forest and that, but then a couple of weeks later, all the greenery's just starting to grow out of the burnt shit again and stuff like that.
No, well, well, this is another ironic thing. Like they talk about, like extinctions and all that sort of thing. The forests that we hear, like 100,000 years ago, are different to what they are now, because the Aborigines used to use fire as a tool to go hunting. So they burn it off, wait for the animals to come running around. So over time, only the plants that could regrow after being burnt survive. So now our vegetation needs to be burnt as part of its life cycle, and I think they used
But
to...
also, too, could you imagine back then when there was lots of forests and that, there were tons of thunderstorms, there would have been natural fires back then from lightning strikes or from fucking anything back in the day. So it's not like all of a sudden humans are starting, isn't it? They're saying climate change is causing this, climate change is causing this. No, over the last few months, they've caught 56 people lighting fucking fires.
No, well, that's what that was going to be the other thing that I was going to say. It's
fucking arsonists.
Yeah, and half of them are working for the fire.
I know. They're just giving themselves work and shit.
No, well, it's like that's what turns them on. So
exactly. But then they want jobs, and then a couple of those things where the big mobile command centres come out with the generators and shit on. A few of them got fucking stolen and stuff, and it's like, come on. I'm not saying anything bad, but some of those volunteer RF people, I think I'm watching Deliverance sometimes when I see them getting interviewed on TV. There's some fucking hills have eyes, inbred fuckers, some of those people. And they haven't been on a diet for a long time either, so if a fire's coming, they ain't getting away from it. So. But I feel more sorry for the animals. They can't get away, like that koala Lewis that died and stuff like that, but...
Well, that's what they're saying with the control burning. Like you do the control burn, and the animals can just walk away like that.
Exactly.
Whereas when it's left and then it goes up, it's poof. They've got no chance.
Anyway, no.
And the other thing is too that they compare the difference between a control burn and obviously a devastating fire, and the devastating fire that the land takes longer to regenerate. So there's really no...
No, but like in the whole thing with the Prime Minister going away, and they said on the news this morning, how can he leave amidst a climate crisis?
Yeah.
That's the words he used. I'm like, what? A climate crisis? So, okay, if it's the climate crisis, when he comes back in a week, the climate's still going to be in crisis. And here's the thing too, all last week I looked on my phone, it said rain, and it was sunny.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you can go on, it'll say, you can go online, you get a 2-week forecast. I think a month ago they predicted thunderstorms and it was hot for the 3 days, and a bit after that it said it was going to be sunny. So I'm like, I'll wash the car. What happened the next day? It fucking rained.
Yeah.
So we have all these billions and millions of dollars worth of fucking weather prediction shit, and we can't even predict the weather tomorrow or the fucking next day. Or look at Queensland last week. In that 1 hour, 100 millimetres of rain fell, and the guy on TV goes, oh, we didn't see that coming, that just come out of nowhere. How can that much fucking rain in clouds come out of nowhere when you've got all these fucking radars, but you can't see that coming in 1 day, or you're going to tell us what the weather's like next week and you get that wrong, but yet you're going to tell me how it's going to be in a fucking year or 2 or 3 or 4 from now? You can't even get it right in 3 days, so don't worry about telling me how the weather and the climate's going to be in 3 fucking years' time, you dickheads.
No,
Shut the fuck up.
That's I guess that's my question about it all, and also
tomorrow, sunny day, you go, cool, come out, it's fucking rain. It's like,
and well, the thing that I can't get my head around is it's like we've got to do something because we're heading to this, the world's going to end. Yeah. But then,
trust me, it's going to be here billions of years after we're all fucking gone.
But my thing is, and this is where we'll discuss it in another video.
I wish the world would end and take everyone out like it did with the dinosaurs. The world, I think the world has been here long enough, it knows how to regenerate itself and what to do when things get out of balance. Like those movies, the world will right itself, whether it's got to turn on its axis a bit and cause another ice age, or a fucking meteor, okay, shoot one down and fucking wipe us out or half of us out so we can start afresh. But fuck me dead, it's like, the way they're talking about like mass extinction next year, 6 months time, or if we don't act right now, if we don't go to zero emissions right now, and That's another thing too. When you get a plane now, a ticket that says you can pay you $10 for carbon offset. What's that?
Yeah.
If I pay $10, then my bit of carbon doesn't come out of the jet engine on the plane. It's like, fuck off.
No, I think if I had to rank the things that would end civilization, or the most likely out of catastrophic events, climate change, you know, if it is real, wouldn't be anywhere near the top of the
list. Like I
list.
said, climate change is real to the extent that the climate changes. It's been doing it for millions of years. It goes in cycles. We don't know what those cycles are because we haven't been here that fucking long to know what the next cycle is going to be, whether it goes back to being cold, whether it goes back to being warm, whether it's just perfect weather for the next couple of... We don't know, so they're just jumping to conclusions here. As soon as they can get on something, it's all for spinning money and doing... Remember, it's like the year or two ago and they were making money from the carbon credits and all this sort of shit. I was like, come on, you got to buy so many carbon credits and fuck off.
No, well, that's why... Look, I disagree with the, you know, if you say, oh, every house has got to have solar panels, that just means there's all going to be these dodgy people making...
Like they did with the pink bats, but the thing is, if they're dead against them, put them on. It's like, but then the thing is, it's like now everyone got those solar panels and used to get so much rebate, and because so many people did it, then they were cutting people's rebates back, where you'd get like 27 cents back, now they're going to get 7 cents back, and you're actually putting money into the grid to the electricity companies, and they're fucking making money off you, and you're giving them money back.
No, what happened there was it like they figured, like they found out what the, you know, the price of solar is. It's like massively expensive, and everyone wants renewable energy, but they just don't want to pay for it because it's way more expensive and not,
that's why
not
I said
reliable.
just put it into the price of the house. But to me, there must be scientists out there where they've said before they could probably do it with paints, or I was reading something where it came up that some clear glass windows now they can use as solar panels. So that's like, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff out there. Like we mentioned before, they want to do solar powered cars, or even, okay, you might have a fuel driven car like those hybrids where so many cars now have those fucking moon roofs. They're all fucking black roof. That could be a huge solar panel. So, okay, you use a little bit of fuel, but the rest of it could be getting charged from the sun and shit. But, you know, you're fucked if you go driving at night, but, you know.
Yeah. Oh, look, I you know, don't want to sound like a loony, but I'm sure there's some free energy source that they know of.
Well, look at those documentaries on Tesla. When he was doing the electricity things back then, he was going to send it, and he showed you can do it. He sent electricity almost like Wi-Fi through the air.
Yeah.
And lit up light bulbs that were a long way away, or lit up light bulbs somewhere in another city just by sending electricity through the air, because he believed electricity should be free to everybody. No one should ever have to pay for electricity. You know, like he said, when he ended up dying, the FBI raided his fucking hotel room, and all his papers and shit just fucking disappeared and stuff. So, you know, it should be. Water and electricity should be fucking free to the people.
I'm sure...
Nobody should own water. You can't have these big companies buying up fucking water and shit and owning water when, fuck, you're charging farmers from water that comes from the fucking sky.
No, I'm sure that there's something out there, you know, but energy is just a massive business.
Like energy is, like I said, the whole fuel, fucking oil and shit. They're not gonna...
When you add it all up, you've got oil, gas, coal.
And what about even the gas here? We're selling our gas to China, and China gets the gas from us and sells to their people cheaper than what we fucking buy it for here, and it comes from here. So we're buying gas from the place it comes from more than what China gets it from us, so they send it to them, so they've got to buy it from us, and then when they get it, they sell it to their people cheaper than what we're getting it for. It's like in this fuel commission, look at petrol here. I went past a few petrol stations, just within a couple of blocks, one's 40 cents more than the other, and then what do we have? We'll have that guy from the NRMA come on TV and say, we're going to look into this, we'll do an inquiry, or is it the FCC? We'll have a look into it, ACCC, we'll have a inquiry into this. Every fucking year you hear the same thing at Christmas time, because petrol prices go up and down, but generally never go down. They just keep fucking going up. But we'll look into this. Nothing's ever fucking been done, because what they get 66 or 70 cents from every fucking litre sold in their fucking taxes and shit.
Yeah, no, that's what it's like. You don't realise how how big a game it is when you think like just how much you spend.
Oh.
Then all this.
Remember back in the day when petrol, was getting expensive, and they were trying to make people turn to gas-powered cars.
Yeah.
The gas was so fucking cheap, or diesel even. Get diesel engines.
Yeah.
Now diesel's almost the same price as 98. It's like now everyone went and brought diesel. Well, there's so many out there. Let's jack the price up and fucking shit. So.
Like talk to a truck driver and ask them how much it costs to fill them.
Yeah.
You know, it blows your mind. Like.
But even the truck drivers, not only filling their trucks up the amount, some of them spend over $1,000 every month on road tolls.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Isn't that what the fucking taxes were for, and the petrol and shit? And once you paid for the tolls were put on there to pay for the roads, and once they were paid for, the tolls were to be taken off.
Yeah.
And now all those things are fucking privately owned, so the money's not.
No, that's it. It's
all a big fucking con.
just making us. You know, it's a.
What about the fucking dickhead you wouldn't know, but Newcastle, the head of the council that runs the council in Newcastle, he just got a pay rise. He's on $500,000 a year. The Prime Minister gets $529,000. This guy gets $500,000. The guy in Maitland, the other suburb of Newcastle, where my mum lives, he gets $400,000 a year.
For Maitland?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But this guy in Newcastle is $500,000 a year. He does fuck all. And you're thinking, how can he get the same as the Prime Minister? Then they went through different countries, and he's getting more than some of the presidents of fucking countries.
Yeah, I think he'd probably get more than the England.
Yeah, I
English
think
Prime
he does.
Minister.
Yeah, and then they mentioned some president in different countries, and he gets more than them. I'm thinking, how can the guy in Newcastle get $500,000?
Yeah.
I mean, their rates went up. They said by so much, 8% again last year.
Well, it's not so that much. If he's setting it up there, what about all the ones beneath him? They've got to have a sliding scale, so...
I just don't get it. And then, like I said, it pissed me off when you hear, because that was a good stadium they had. They said they should just fix up the old stadium. Oh no, let's knock it down. And then they just said this morning in the news, Berejiklian just signed off on the $100 million budget over.
Yeah.
It's like,